Welcome to this podcast is Uncalled For.
Well, the name of this podcast is Stuff Uncalled For?
This podcast is uncalled for.
Podcast, alright, well.
What's uncalled for about it?
What we doing, T1?
And he's like, what did you just say?
It's a bit of a slap in the face and an insult.
And then look, thank you back home.
Oh, that's going to be great for the football chart.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's that character from Guardians of the Galaxy who takes everything literally?
Because it always happens. It always happens.
That is uncalled for, Michael.
And now, your host for this podcast, Mike Chernevsky. Recorded at Sausomecon 2022.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our last episode at Sausomecon with our panel on anime culture. If you haven't heard that episode yet, please do so. But today, glad to say we got another interview from probably the most successful person acting-wise we've had on the podcast, and that's a good thing to say. Right? So this is a guy I've known since I went back to college to study video at Johnson County Community College, and I was working the video production side, so the JCAV side. So the student media had three rounds. We had JCAV, which was student TV. We had ECAV, which you'll hear mentioned today, which was student radio, and you had the Campus Ledger, which is the newspaper and is not going to play as big a role in today's episode, but thought you should know about it. Well, my guest was working the ECAV side of things as well as the JCAV in front of a camera. In fact, that's video we've talked about in the past about playing Comic-Con, and which spawns the Lou Ferrigno as the Black Power Ranger joke. Yeah, he did this video. Well, since then, he's gone into anime voice acting, and I'm just going to pull up some of his credits straight from the IMDb. You can hear him as Sliding Go in My Hero Academia, Jack the Drought in One Piece, Shioko Lara in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Bakuzan in One Punch Man, Odin in Record of Ragnarok, Jackal in The Prince of Tennis, Uncle Tian in Genshin Impact, and many, many more, including he voiced a Pokemon. Now, before we get into the actual audio, I'm going to state that today's interview is a little shorter than I would like. However, I was at Sausomecon also doing video work, and when you do video work, you capture audio as well. So, the plan is to work in some of the audio I got from his panel right after mine, actually. In fact, the two young ladies who last spoke in the anime culture episode also attended this panel, and we'll work some of that audio in. So here is our interview and the panel with the one, the only Mr. Bill Butts.
So, as I begin, I have a legitimate question. Now, that's the question that's me. Do you actually want to get into this? Yeah, we got him. We're back in. One. Don't be shy. interesting. Very interesting. There's been a lot of growth happening. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hello. Well, come on in. Come on in. Boy. Oh, wait. We got a lot to talk about. So I just want to ask a quick question. So the two royal folk comment, okay? How you doing? How you doing? Good, all right? All right, I got a legitimate question for you. Like anime voice acting? Okay. Yes, sir? Yes. Would you ever get into voiceover? Did you ever get into voiceover?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, all right. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk some real things here a bit. A fun question. Hey, man. Can you help me out? Yep.
And that's the apology.
Oh, that's not what I apologize. I'm like, I didn't see anything in front of you. He was like, is the board there? No, it isn't. Well, all right. Let's keep going. So, as we've all seen anime, I want to tell you how this is going to go energy-wise. Some real dope things, some cool things, some real things. So we go here, we're going to go here, right? Ready? So that's the flow of energy we're going to have here. I love anime. Ever since I was a kid, or I'd watch things and I'd be like, you know what, maybe that character's like honorary black. I mean, you'd be at the cookout, but I understand because you're the real light skin, but there's something that you missed something. And you pull for like anything. Lord Jesus. And as I got older, I came to realize, like, wow, there was like no one in anime that like looked like me. And eventually look it up and look online and say the actor's like, wow, they got a white dude voicing the first black man I've ever seen in acting. That's the thing. Now, follow me here. Ready? This is going to be a happy panel. I'm going to do a lot of like talk here with a Q&A. Then, because I'm bring some people up on stage. With that said, I'll share a little about myself. So let's give it everything I'm talking about. My name is Bill Butts. I'm a voice actor. You currently hear me on a little show called One Piece. I'm Captain Jack, King Gozzle, which you might have heard of, but the time we were credit to Slime. To the theaters right now, Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm Miguel. A man literally from Africa, one of the most powerful men in the canon. A little spoiler for you guys, so I want you to watch it. Who here seen Jujutsu Kaisen? You know about Gojo, right? Yeah. This is the first thing I do. You see the trailer, we fight. I have a horde of curses and demons coming in. And we know about it. So, you see him like, my first line is like, I want him. Pulls out his own infinite look. This dude pulls out this cursed bit of like rope. Passes a family generation. Blah! He cancels it. Gojo. He is shooketh. I'm like, oh, what's wrong, man? And that's how it starts. So I'm saying, if you want to watch it, because it's real. And that's it. That's the problem with me. So, other things that I do. At the same time, a lot of what I do outside of like the acting world, from all the way where I was raised here in Kansas City to out there in LA, is what I do is I try to bring the ladder down. Some shows came out. Let's go back to what I was saying earlier. I was realizing like, man, I'm not seeing a lot of POC in anime at all. Huh. And an unnamed show came out, which you'll figure out in a minute. I'm like, wow, this is the same opening like Cowboy Bebop. The lead is clearly black. Dad is black. Everybody in there is black. And he did a worldwide search for a black singer, but why is the cast all white?
We were concerned.
And I came to realize that,
The panel.
I say this with full sincerity, nearly every studio in LA thought people that looked like me naturally spoke like Chris Tucker. I wish I was playing. I'm like, I went to school in Olathe, Kansas. You say Midwestern neutral. You do not get more Midwestern neutral than Kansas. They're like, well, I mean, I just want to educate you. So in June of 2020, I made a group called the Animated Performance Color Day. It was me, a girl named Ted Camacho, a girl here in Judith Bizarre Adventure, and a guy named Devin Matt. Who's Devin Matt? Have you seen a show called Total Drama? He's Chef. He's also been Thanos, and the list goes on. He's the top billed actor in Canada. Period. And he's a black man. True story. He had to trick his agent and not show his skin tone so he could get to the studio. It's too late. They can't find him. He's already there. And he was like, and he would blow their mind with his skill, which is how he got to where he was. So we decided we're going to work together. And me and my partner, name is Lisa Ortiz. She's in Pokemon now. Well, she directed it. And you're like, okay, we're going to talk about this. Let's bring every casting director aside. I just want to talk to you. I should yell at you and shake the hell out of you. I want to talk to you. This is what we do. This is what I do to this day. What I want to talk to you all about right now. It shouldn't ever be to the point if you are a certain skin tone. I'm proud of black, for example. Then you shouldn't be able to read for a character in this Asian anime. But for white people, as my guess, white people, not a size bit. That was actually reality. Isn't that crazy? And from that point on, they're like, I think we should, give him a shot. Now, ready? So we're going to go back up now, right? Every one of these folk that I'm talking to went from absolutely hated by the black community to being text messages going like, okay, Bill, thanks for coming in. Who can we bring in now in this game? Like, oh, yo, you heard of like AJ Beckles, Zeno Roberts, give your channel to that, and like, these are our allies, right? So what I'm saying right now is, I asked that question earlier, it's like, who wants to get in? With this panel, I want to talk about the community. I want to talk to you because I want to see you. I want to tell you any secret I possibly can because I want you, as POC, to succeed, especially in the community. There's little misfits here and there. I want to tell you. But at the same time, I want you to ask me anything you want to know. It could be about acting, characterization, auditioning, whatever you have. I want this to be as educational and meaningful for you as possible. Y'all go with that?
They need diversity.
You're hired.
Pleased to have on the podcast my good friends and one of the better anime voice actors out there right now, Mr. Bill Butts.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How have you been?
Man, I haven't been too bad at all. It's been interesting because it's been like it's a little more than 5 years since I moved away from Kansas City. But oh, Lord have mercy! I got off the plane, said, "Hey, where do you want to go and get something to eat?" I'm like, "Take me to Gates Barbecue." I got teary-eyed when I walk up in there, and she said, "How may I help you?" It was one single tear. I was like, "Yes, you can. We burn that on bun, side onion rings with those fries and spicy sauce. Oh, I ain't slept that good in a long time, my man. I'm not having my Gates and my Zarda barbecue. I got LC's and 239 to get on there with Oklahoma Joe's, or Kansas City Joe's. It's gonna be good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm keeping busy too. So that our audience is aware, we went to a JUCO together. So.
Yep. Newsman. I was radio man. It was beautiful.
It was.
With the JUCO, I managed ECAV radio over there. It was awesome. With good old Molly and Corbin.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That was a good time, man. Good time.
Oh, yeah. I keep talking about the video that you and Sam did over at the Planet Comic-Con.
Oh man, that was like, it's a lot of hindsight. The funny thing with a lot of good old Sam, Sam, what I used to do is we would actually have we saw it on Supernatural once, started like laughing because granted we legitimately worked there. They had badges. He was walking like no one ever asked questions. Cool, so you have a badge. Like that's hilarious. So we tried it one time and actually the Planet Comic Con event, and that it worked because we like it was like, we have legitimate IDs from the school. We're paid on there, and we are actually journalists. Why don't we try it? So we go over there and be like, that's our press, like, oh, yeah, come in. I'm like, this works? My God. So you got to interview people like Lou Ferrigno and the cast of Serenity. I'm like, this is amazing.
Just Jane.
Oh, yeah, you know. Jane was there. Man named Jane.
Yeah,
it was good
the hero
time.
of Canton, the man they called Jane. Yes. That's good times. Yeah, I need to get Sam on the podcast.
You should.
Because I've had a few other guests and they praise the man. Saying he's
talented.
Yeah, absolutely. Comes from a talented family too. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So, of course, we're here at Sausomecon. You're here meeting and greeting all the fans.
Yeah.
What little fans there are right now. So.
Yeah, COVID's got numbers here a little low, but understandable because it's another variant right now. But you know what? What matters is folk can come out here and have themselves a real good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So talk about, if you can, I know confidentiality is a thing, so talk about a few of the characters you've had the chance of voicing.
I'm very honored to say, since moving out from Kansas City to LA, I've worked with about 60 different characters in the last 5 years. It's been very grateful for that. And over time, there's been a lot of characters, like the current villain of One Piece, and the dub is Captain Jack. Top of all that, if you're watching, as of the time of this recording, a show called Jujutsu Kaisen. You can hear me as Miguel in that, currently playing in theaters. If you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic kind of universe, the guy who wrote the comic book line of Civil War, his name's Mark Millar, he wrote an offshoot comic. It is wonderful. It's called Super Crooks. It's on Netflix right now, and I'm actually in the voice of a character called Ghost. His name is Josh. We call him the Ghost because he's Kitty Pryde's kind of powers. You can kind of phase through anything. And the story of it is pretty much, imagine, because I say the X-Men to make it kind of relatable for you guys. Imagine these B-list villains who decide to say, screw it, we're going to rob evil Professor X. The story you can watch. You can see me on, there's another show called Ranking of Kings, where I play Gigon. It's pretty much the Hulk. Record of Ragnarok, I'm Odin. I'm the new Earl in Toe Jam and Earl. JoJo Bizarre Adventure Chocolata, and the list goes on. I'm the Beer Brother. Watch my shows because they are good.
Pokemon was a...
Oh, yes, and the new Pokemon movie. I'm actually I sing the intro, and I'm also the Pokemon known as Zarude.
Oh, nice. Cool. Are you just doing anime, or are you doing other voice?
I do a lot of anime. I do a lot of video games, commercials.
Awesome.
And let's say I'm a very happy man with what I do.
All right. Hey, I'll go and grab it now. So got some things.
Got a line coming up here.
Yeah. No. That's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
All right. Well, hey, good to see you.
Big Mike. Appreciate.
And
all y'all, subscribe and like and comment and subscribe.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah. All right. Good talking, Bill.
This podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced and edited by Mike Chernevsky. Opening music is Cool Hard Facts by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Outro music for this episode is La Mujer de Antonio by Songo21, licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 3.0 international license. Special thanks to Sausomecon 2022 for making this episode possible. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting platform. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/uncalledforpodcast, and check out our blog with show notes at uncalledfor.home.blog. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.